Boxing heavyweight legend George Foreman has passed away at the age of 76, leaving behind a legacy that transcends the sport. Known as Big George in the ring, Foreman built one of the most remarkable and enduring careers in boxing history. His journey was not just about championships and knockouts, it was a testament to resilience, reinvention, and the power of faith. Foreman first captured the world's attention in 1968 when he won an Olympic gold medal in Mexico City at just 19 years old. That victory was only the beginning of what would become a storied career spanning decades. He went on to claim the world heavyweight title twice, 21 years apart, an achievement that remains one of the most extraordinary feats in boxing. His second title victory, at the age of 45, made him the oldest heavyweight champion in history. It was a moment that defied logic, proving that age was just a number when it came to Foreman's sheer willpower and determination. His career was filled with incredible highs and heartbreaking lows, but one fight remains the most iconic: his 1974 bout against Muhammad Ali, famously known as the Rumble in the Jungle. At the time, Foreman was considered an unstoppable force, a dominant champion with an intimidating presence inside the ring. Many believed Ali, who was older and had endured years of exile from the sport due to his refusal to be drafted into the Vietnam War, didn't stand a chance. Foreman had just dismantled Joe Frazier, the reigning champion, knocking him down 6 times in the first 2 rounds to claim the title. If he could do that to Frazier, one of the toughest heavyweights in history, what chance did Ali have? The world watched in anticipation, expecting a quick victory for Foreman. But what unfolded in Kinshasa, Zaire, now the Democratic Republic of the Congo, was something no one had predicted. Ali introduced a strategy that would later become legendary: rope-a-dope. He leaned against the ropes, allowing Foreman to unleash a relentless assault, absorbing punch after punch. Foreman, known for his raw power, threw everything he had. Crowd could feel the force behind each blow. But Ali, always the strategist, waited. He let Foreman punch himself into exhaustion. And when the moment was right, Ali struck. In the 8th round, he delivered a stunning knockout that sent Foreman crashing to the canvas. It was a defining moment in sports history, one that would haunt Foreman for years but would ultimately shape the man he became. Foreman later admitted that the loss to Ali was a turning point in his life. It was humbling, a blow not just to his body but to his ego. In the aftermath, he struggled with self-doubt and began searching for meaning beyond boxing. Just 3 years later, after suffering another loss to Jimmy Young in 1977, Foreman made a shocking decision. He retired from boxing. But it wasn't just a retirement from the sport, it was a complete transformation. During a moment of what he described as a near-death experience in his dressing room following the fight, Foreman found himself overwhelmed by a spiritual awakening. He claimed he felt the presence of God and was given a second chance at life. That experience changed everything. He walked away from boxing and dedicated himself to faith, becoming an ordained minister. Foreman founded the Church of the Lord Jesus Christ in Houston, Texas, where he spent years preaching and helping the community. He gave up his violent past and embraced a new path of peace, service, and devotion to God. For a decade, Foreman remained away from the sport, living modestly, focused on his ministry. But by the late 1980s, financial troubles began to mount. The money he had earned during his boxing career had dwindled, and supporting his growing family became a challenge. Then, in one of the most surprising comebacks in sports history, Foreman announced he was returning to the ring at the age of 38. Most critics laughed at the idea. A man who had spent years preaching and was noticeably heavier than his prime fighting days was now going to face younger, faster, and more skilled fighters? It seemed like an impossible task. But Foreman proved the doubters wrong. With a new persona, one that was more relaxed, more charming, and far removed from the fearsome young champion of the 1970s, he began his second career. 4 years, Foreman fought his way back up the ranks. And then, in 1994, at the age of 45, he did the unthinkable. He faced the much younger and heavily favored Michael Moorer for the heavyweight title. Moorer, a southpaw with sharp skills, dominated most of the fight. But Foreman, patient and methodical, waited for his moment. In the 10th round, he unleashed a powerful right hand that sent Moorer to the canvas. Just like that, George Foreman was champion once again, 21 years after he first won the title. It was a storybook ending, one of the greatest moments in boxing history. Foreman would finally retire for good in 1997, leaving behind a record of 76 wins, 68 by knockout, and only 5 losses. His career was one of evolution, from feared knockout artist to lovable veteran, from world champion to preacher, and from fighter to entrepreneur. And it was in entrepreneurship that Foreman found even greater success. After retiring, he became the face of the George Foreman Grill, a product that would make him hundreds of millions of dollars, far more than he ever earned in the ring. The grill became a household name, with Foreman's charisma playing a huge role in its success. He embraced his status as a friendly, wise, and approachable figure, appearing in commercials and interviews that further endeared him to the public. Despite his financial success, Foreman remained dedicated to his faith, family, and philanthropy. He mentored young athletes, spoke about his experiences, and never lost sight of where he came from. His journey from troubled youth to boxing champion to preacher to comeback king and finally to beloved global icon is a testament to perseverance and transformation. When news of his passing broke, tributes poured in from all corners of the world. His family shared a heartfelt message on Instagram saying, "Our hearts are broken." A devout preacher, a devoted husband, a loving father, and a proud grand and great-grandfather, he lived a life marked by unwavering faith, humility, and purpose. They continued, a humanitarian, an Olympian, and 2-time heavyweight champion of the world, he was deeply respected, a force for good, a man of discipline, conviction, and a protector of his legacy, fighting tirelessly to preserve his good name for his family. Fellow boxing legends, including Mike Tyson, paid their respects, with Tyson stating, "His contribution to boxing and beyond will never be forgotten." The Ring magazine, widely regarded as the Bible of boxing, called him one of the greatest heavyweights of all time and honored his lasting impact on the sport. Foreman's legacy is one of inspiration. He proved that it is never too late to reinvent oneself, never too late to find redemption, and never too late to make a comeback, not just in sports but in life. He was a man who fought his battles both inside and outside the ring, a champion not just for his accomplishments but for his ability to rise again. He was born in Marshall, Texas on January 10, 1949, and grew up in poverty. Raised by a single mother in the segregated South, he had a rough childhood, often getting into trouble and dropping out of school. His early life was marked by crime and street fights, but boxing became his salvation. Gave him purpose, structure, and ultimately a platform to change his life. His story resonates because it is one of struggle, redemption, and triumph. George Foreman was more than just a boxer. He was a fighter in every sense of the word. His impact on the sport and the world will never be forgotten. Rest in peace, Big George. Your legend will live on forever. Well, guys, what are your thoughts? Do tell us. Thanks for watching.